Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Working on the 06 diesel. Currently been having a long crank start. I've ended up replacing the crank positioning sensor and did not fix it. Went through, backtracked through all the wiring. Did not find any broken or chafed wiring that has a tendency to happen on this particular make and model with this engine. So now I'm currently in the process of doing a timing belt, water pump, and after that we're going to be pulling the transmission to replace the rear main seal and exciter for the crank positioning sensor, because I stuck my borescope camera in there and it appears it does not have the exciter still attached to the crank. So we'll see once we get in there and start messing with it. So this is what I've gotten so far. I've gotten the timing belt off. I'm about to remove the tensioner here. When you put the lock pin in, you got to make sure this sprocket, these teeth, are up at top. The little lock pin will go all the way in to the head to lock the cam from moving. And once you get down here, so depending on which crank you have, if your mark is between the two gears, it's going to sit at 1 o'clock for top dead center. If the mark is above the bolt hole, helps if I actually stay in focus here, above the bolt hole, it will be at 12 o'clock. So between the two, 1 o'clock, you need the mark. If it's above the bolt hole, it'll be at 12 o'clock, and you need the correct tools between the two. So now we're good to move on to doing the water pump. That's right there. And then the front, the idlers and the tensioner. Well, old water pump is out. Don't need that anymore. And there's the new one going into the lovely hole. Right there. Alright, we got the water pump in, we got the idler pulley for the timing belt in. The water pump bolts get torqued down to 11 foot-pounds. The idler pulley gets torqued down to 15 foot-pounds plus an eighth of a turn. Now to move on to the tensioner and timing belt. Alrighty, now we got the timing belt all back on, everything tightened up. Rotate the engine around, rotate the crank around twice, make sure everything's in time, and move on to buttoning up everything else. I'm leaving this at the point that it is right now, because we are going to be moving on to removing the transmission and doing a clutch and rear main seal. So I'm going to put the motor mount back in and start taking out the drivetrain. So it's all out. We got to pull this rear main seal and install a new one. So the crank positioning sensor will actually start working again. So far we've done water pump, timing belt, on the front side of the engine. We've got the transmission out on the back side now. We're going to be doing rear main seal, new flywheel, new clutch, putting that all back in. While we're in the process of having the front end all torn apart, we are also going to go ahead and do the big brake kit and the coilover kit for the car also. So this video is going to be two, maybe a three-parter. So stay tuned, hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.